Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Okay, that was weak, you guys. It's Monday. Come on, get excited. One more time. Good morning.
Morning.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, just a couple of announcements, you guys. The Easter egg event, please start to register. They haven't seen very many requests, but I've had a lot of questions. So make sure that you are registering. We are going to try to have our first meeting on Thursday. And if we don't have enough people signed up, then we'll have it again on Monday. Okay, just letting you know that. And then call blitz, you guys, it is tomorrow from 4 to 6. It is going to happen every week, 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. So who's signing up? Raise your hand. We got 2, 3. Yeah, write you guys' name down so you guys can't not show up later. Okay, here we go. So Aubrey, Bono, and Isaac. Hey, awesome. Anyone else? Jason, are you coming? And give you a hard time. Okay, you guys, and the compliance call is at 11 on Fridays. You guys don't miss that. That's really, really helpful. And Wednesday is base camp at 11. You guys, Home Partners of America, and also they're going to talk about how to get your sellers into senior home living and 55+ communities. There's a lot of benefits coming up, so don't miss this. It's going to be with Heather Barker on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Am I missing anything? We are reading Ed Milet's book, Maxed Out. You guys, it's a really good book. It's a small read, so make sure you guys get that. Okay, let's share a gratitude or a win. Monday. Yes, oh, the coaching call is always at 11 on Mondays. Yes, that'll be with Jeremy Laguerre. Hey,
Jeremy, who's doing that?
Jeremy's doing that.
Is that on Zoom or how's that?
It's usually on Zoom, yes. The link will go out and you should get a text and an email as well. Okay, let's get a gratitude or win. Aubrey?
Closing today, so.
Yay! Yeah, congratulations. Awesome.
What's
You're
the
good.
source of that?
That's why,
Nice.
like 6 months.
It works. Bam.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Okay, George, all you.
All right.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Anybody do anything fun this weekend? You did. You went to the
Yeah.
this Amy Clark team
Retreat.
retreat.
Okay.
That's fun. Okay, good. Do these work? That work? All right. Okay. Anything else? Kelly, anything fun? Really? No one did anything fun today, this weekend?
I went to a birthday dinner.
All right.
And they worked on.
You guys have more fun on the weekend.
We went up north. I had a showing up there with the client and yeah, biscuits and gravy for the first time in like 6 months.
All right.
Felt like I deserved it, so.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Biscuits and gravy. That's a highlight. Anybody else? Jason, you anything fun this weekend?
I did something really fun last week during the week.
Which was?
I took my kids backpacking up at the Uintas for 2 days. Came back on Wednesday in a big storm. It was awesome.
You went backpacking in the Uintas?
Well, yeah, don't do like backpacking.
Snowshoeing?
Yeah, snowshoeing and it was a little bit hard coming
And
down.
did you build caves?
No, we got a yurt that was two miles up into the hills.
Okay.
So,
Don't you do that? I think some of us,
Yeah.
that's right there near the entrance to the Uintas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. I've seen those.
it was a little.
All right, that
hard-
sounds
hard-
fun.
It was hard to come out because we had 3 feet of snow that we were taking a 8-year-old through, but it was a 4-hour hike that normally takes us 1 hour. But it's awesome.
That is awesome.
That is cool.
You know,
All right.
I
We
wanted
were
to share one
recovered.
real quick too. So we've been up to Park City and the weather was beautiful, but we went to St. Regis. Has anyone been up there?
Yeah.
So they have that vernacular that goes up just to the restaurant. It is the
Yep.
most amazing view. I think we talked about it too. So if you want to do something fun and you don't have reservations or something, you can just chill in their lounge area. And the view is amazing. They have outdoor fireplace, and even if it's cold, you guys, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's fun.
So we eat up there sometimes, but it's just amazing.
I've actually never gone up there just to eat. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great restaurant.
All
So
right.
I did that.
There's where you can spend some of that closing.
Yeah.
Right there.
You go.
All right. Okay. So one of the things that this is just remember, Monday for me is just getting your mindset right. And I'm always reminded of just the sense of 2 things on a Monday. Where am I going? What am I doing? And is my mind right? And so when you start looking at like your decision making throughout the week, just remind yourself that knowing where you're going and what you're trying to achieve is such a critical component to your success. And I just, for years, I've done these 3x5 cards. I mean, I know Jason's carried them around with them, and I have stacks and stacks of them. And I would write this on my 3x5. And I know I've said this to you guys before. It's like a new concept, but just I would let me blow it back up. Let's do this. I used to write it this way. I will set, and then how many for the day, and then I would do for the week. And I was curious as to how many appointments I was going to set. So write it down. How many appointments will you set? I will set what, 1 appointment a day, 5 for the week, 4 for the week. What's it going to be? Number 2, I will take blank number of listings, right? So how many listings are you going to take? And I always say, my goodness, I mean, there's so many times where you may not have anything, but I'm telling you, you're going to get exactly what you focus on. Number 3, I will put blank number under contract. How many will you put under contract this week? So maybe you set, how many you'll take, how many will you put under contract? And in today's marketplace, which seems to be quite relevant, which is I will get blank price reductions. So if you need a price reduction, how many price reductions will you get? Then I always use this 5th thing to be something that I was working on from a standpoint of tools or a strategy. And so something I'm going to implement. So some of you, it could be something, I'm just going to give you some examples, but is there something you're specifically supposed to be doing with your SOI? Is there something specific that you're supposed to be doing with the way in which you handle leads? Maybe it's the CRM you're using. Maybe it's something in regards to getting something out to your SOI. Maybe it's organizing your SOI. Maybe it's how you handle your leads. Maybe it's your listing presentation / packet or buyer side. Just curious, like what system and strategy or tool are you going to put in place or that needs to be refined? And so for me, these 4 things were always about working, always working in the business. This last thing was always for working on the business. And I would repeat this over and over and over again. And this became a great thing for me when there was so much distraction. In fact, where I came up with it and I started doing it the most was when the markets were like what they were, when things were so off. I wanted to know every single day what I was supposed to be doing. And some of you are wandering through your day, not doing the things you know you're supposed to be doing. And so I just always wanted to make sure I was reminding myself of the things that I needed to be doing. Any thoughts or questions on that? At the top, by the way, I often wrote down this: must, goal, desire, and then I always put the date. And I would highly recommend that you do that. I'd recommend getting a 3x5 card, and I would rewrite this every single Monday, over and over and over again. Why? Because I want to know where I was going, because we always forget. We wake up on a Monday morning wondering where we're going. And yet, yes, you may know, okay, hey, I'm going to come to this morning meeting, but what else are you going to achieve this week? How clear are you on exactly what you're going to have happen during the week? So I would rewrite this over and over every week, and I did it for years. That's why I say I have stacks, is because I did it for so many years. And then I would carry that 3x5 card around with me every single day, right in my front pocket or my coat pocket. And I would pull it out over and over again, reminding myself that when things were sideways, things weren't going the right direction, I got a little down, a little discouraged, a little bit off. I made sure, man, where am I going? Okay. Any thoughts or questions, comments? Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about with Jason and said out with Jessica Terry, just honing in your schedule and actually putting it in place like when you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. All it is just making sure you don't forget where you're going. And everyone forgets. Everyone. I do. You do. We all forget. We'll start renegotiating our day away. We'll start renegotiating our activities away. We'll start saying we need to do this over that. And what I realized is if I did these things, everything else worked. Notice I didn't have a goal that I needed to write an offer. There's not one of you that aren't going to write an offer when you know you need to write an offer. There's not a time where you're not going to work with a buyer that you know you have a qualified buyer you're supposed to meet today at, let's just say 2:00. You're going to meet them. And if you have a conflict, you're going to rearrange and make sure it works. But this is the stuff that will set you up for the rest of your life. And this is the stuff that gets renegotiated over and over and over again. And it's the great demise of all real estate agents. Okay. Mindset. So in regards to mindset, I will never forget an agent who said, man, I never until I met you concluded on the fact that mindset had anything to do with selling real estate. And this is an agent who'd been in the business for like 5 or 6 years. And I was always fascinated by that statement. And it only happened about 5 or 6 years ago. And I thought, how could you not put mindset and real estate together? And I thought that was just an automatic, but I realized it wasn't. And it's often not for many people. And the mindset I'm talking about is your mental toughness. It's your belief. It's your confidence. It's your certainty. It's all about the things that you do from a place of activity, what you do. And I just wanted to quickly just put a list together. And I just want to remind you that this is stuff that I'm going to put here that it needs to be done daily, but at minimum, weekly. All right. WEE. Okay. Just making sure there wasn't confusion. Okay. That's my dad joke for the day right there. All right. What do you think you should do daily in this list? Give me an example. We're gonna make a list and I want you to look at that list. And I can give you example after example where I watch people get sideways, they get not on track, and almost always has to do with how they're setting up their days and their weeks with their mind. So give me an example of something you should do daily or weekly.
Meditate.
Okay. Okay, what else?
Read.
Okay, what else?
Right.
Okay. So write down write/journal. Okay, what else?
Exercise.
Okay, exercise. What else?
Gratitude.
Pardon?
Gratitude.
Yeah, you could write that. In here, I would, you could write it. Of course, you could experience it, feel it, state it.
Listen to something positive.
Okay, so listening. I'm certain that Ruby knows the answers. So someone else in the room might say something.
Get up on time.
And when I say listen, right, we're talking about listening to what? Right? We're talking about reading, right? Reading positive stuff that's going to change the way you think. I don't ever have the strongest mindset first thing in the morning. It's not where my mindset is strongest, right? When I wake up. And by the way, and I like what you just said. I'm gonna put that next to exercise, but right now, right there, wake up on time. What else? What else?
Think about who we're hanging around with.
Okay, who we spend our time with? I'm gonna put here, spend time with the right people. Okay, what else?
Practice.
Did you say practice? Yeah, no, I think it's great. So practice, scripts, dialogues, right? Morning meetings. I actually might put in here even, I'm gonna put next to it, and that is, oops, messing that up, but participate. Participate in, right, from summits to coaching to morning meetings to base camps to coaching calls. Participate. Okay, what else? What else would you do to make sure your mindset's right?
Eat well.
Pardon?
Eat well.
I go with that. So we should put here nutrition. Okay, what else? It's a good one.
Take time off.
Okay. So rest. I'm even gonna put in here sleep. Right? What else?
Action.
Such as,
Well, I feel better if I do action.
okay? Like as an example though, prospect.
Outdoors. Do
Okay.
something.
I'll live with that. I like that, by the way. So we'll put take action, but we'll put in here prospect. right, as one of the core things, but take action, right? There's in that movement. Were you gonna say something, John? Just on mindset? We're just basically making a list of stuff that we would do to protect our mind.
Well, you know, one thing that I was gonna comment on was spending time with the right people.
Yeah,
I used to worry a little about that because the people I love, a lot of times are maybe not the most positive people.
yeah, sure.
So,
And that's not abnormal, right? I mean, yeah,
so I can't remember who was it, maybe it was you that said, that time that we spend, it's the bulk of, like, so we're here at the office, spending time with good people, like-minded people, and, it's the time, the quality of the time, not so much maybe all the hours. And, you know, when you come to think of it, I'm not spending that much time with my family except on the weekend, right?
sure.
So anyway, I think that's an
Yeah.
important part, but don't beat yourself up about it if your family or friends aren't necessarily the most positive and goal-oriented people.
I would be shocked if most people's families are that way. I mean, yeah, so I think you're spot on. I mean, there's no reason to, you know, and the point is, right, you're gonna, I mean, there's a number of different ways to look at this, but I always love what Darren Hardy has said in his book, Compound Effect. He said, there are 3-minute friends, there are 3-hour friends, and there are 3-day friends. And he talks about the people who you can spend a few minutes with. He talks about people you can spend a few hours with. And he talks about how you could actually, there's certain people you can go spend a few days with. And oftentimes those are very, very different people. And I mean, it's a great reminder again of just who you spend your time with. And always the other thing, another little twist or maybe add or twist to that is you become like the people that you spend, and I'm going to put the word here, a majority of your time with. Sometimes people say, well, you're the sum of your total of your 3 closest friends. I was at the Off-Road Expo this weekend, and I walk through and I hear this, George, and I look up and it's one of my very best friends and a friend that is my oldest friend. We met each other when we were 2 years old. And do you remember Troy Carter? And he used to install signs. Do you remember him? Do you remember him at all? Do you remember him, Greg?
Sign guy.
The sign guy, right? And I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, right? It was so great to see him. And I'm thinking, I have not seen you for like 5 years. 5 years. This is like my one of my closest and best friends. It's been over 5 years. So it's not about who are my closest friends. It's all about who do I spend my time with? And that's who you're going to become the summation of. Just a good reminder. So
I even put in what you're listening, if you're listening to certain things, that's the people you're hanging out with.
that's a good point.
It might not be physical people, it could be people you're hearing.
Yeah, I've jokingly said, but there is truth to it. Most of my mentors are dead. And I didn't kill them. I just want to make point that out. And I mean that because it's Earl Nightingale, it's Napoleon Hill, it's the Zig Ziglars, it's all these wonderful and amazing people that have come and put things, you know, that you can either read or listen to and experience from that standpoint. Okay. What else? Anything else?
Visualize.
I almost put that up there, but you know what? Perfect. I love it. Okay. The other thing we didn't put up here yet, I'm just gonna put it up here. We talked about participating. I mentioned it, but I didn't put, but coaching, and let's just put here mentors, right? Getting right with the right people. What else?
Someone online with.
Oh, what do they say? Did someone online say something?
Yeah.
What are you watching or not watching? Stay away from the news.
Love it. Okay, what are you watching? Well done. I agree, Rich. That's good.
Delphine said, go to bed early.
I like that. Get proper rest and sleep. I always like to know how many hours I need 7 hours and 15 minutes. Weirdly, like that's my magical number. And boy, I feel like I can do just about anything, any and all day if I get the right amount of sleep. Okay, well, anything else? That's pretty much my list. I mean, we've added a few things more to it, but I just want to point out just a couple of things that, look, this is almost everything I see in here is something that you could do almost every single day, almost all of it. You know, maybe you're not coached every single day, but I sit here and look up, you know, can you eat right? Can you get the proper amount of sleep? Most days you can take action, go prospect, visualize, right? Maybe you could every day, you know, spend a few minutes with a mentor. But to your point, those people could be who you spend your time with, Jason, could be people that you spend time with online. What are you watching? What are you meditating on? What are you, or meditation, reading, writing, exercise, listening, spending time with the right people, practicing, participating. I mean, the reality is you can do all of this every single day. There's almost nothing up there that you couldn't do every single day. And so if you ask yourself, if you're having a hard time with your mindset, your belief system, your confidence, or you're doubting, just ask yourself a better question. What can I do to get my mindset right? And you have to have a desire for wanting to do that. Just like Isaac, when I was driving here, I called him and I said, what are you listening to? Or what have you listened to this morning? In fairness, he said, well, nothing. I said, well, you can't have that be the case. Every morning you need to be listening to something that's going to elevate the way you think. Because what I know is at 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 7 a.m., I don't care what time. All I know is I'm not thinking about all of these things. I'm not thinking about my goals, my dreams, my goals. How many appointments will I set? How many listings will I take? How many contracts? Man, I'm not thinking about what I want to achieve, accomplish. I mean, I have to be up for a while before I get into that mindset. So within seconds, minutes, I mean, I say minutes, like 1 to 2 minutes, I'm listening. Well, for me, I am listening to something. I am listening to something besides myself, because I'm listening to me. That is a dangerous place to be. At 5 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, I don't care. If I'm listening to me, that is a dangerous place to be. So I hope that you're doing things that the moment you wake up, you're shifting the way you think, you're shifting what you believe, you're shifting where you put your focus, you're shifting your confidence, your belief system. And some of you are like, oh, well, I really don't want to do that. Yep, you can talk yourself out of all of these things. But if you really have, and I said this to Isaac today also, I said, you have to have a desire to not want to be in that space. And what I mean by that, the space I'm talking about is a space of either negativity, a space of neutrality. You have to have a desire to want to be beyond that. And we didn't have a long discussion. It was just me quickly checking on him. And my point is just that you have to have a desire, that knowing that these things are going to make it to where your life is better. And some people love to stay in negativity. They love to feel down. You may say, oh, come on. No, you like to. You like to be negative. You like to feel bad. You like to feel like the world is against you. You like to be depressed. You say, no, I don't like it. Yes, you do. It feeds you. Otherwise, you change it, because you don't have to be there. So just think about that. When you're down, how long do you let yourself be down? When you're off, how long do you let yourself be off? When you're discouraged, how long do you let yourself be discouraged? When you're fearful, how long do you allow yourself to be fearful? You say, well, I don't want any of those things. Well, yeah, but you're feeding the animal. You want to feed an animal that has positive encouragement, you know, light and bright and openness, and man, the world, I can conquer it, I can achieve, I can have it all. Well, then you got to do things that allow you to do that, because you're such good salespeople. You'll talk yourself into all the things that this is completely against. You just will. It's human nature. It's not anything against you. It's not a criticism of you. It's just what we do. It is what we do. We will fight the very solutions. I don't feel like listening to anything. I'm sure you don't, because you're feeling negative, depressed, sad, discouraged. That's what we do. We got to hunker down and stay in that space once we get there. I mean, this is the stuff that can get you out of it. But sometimes we just won't even do the very things that get us out of it. Okay. All right. Any thoughts, comments?
Yeah,
Greg?
okay. Many times I have avoided this and I have seen the fruits of it. So if any of that lack of doing these, if anybody here is thinking about whether this is valid or not, that's a place you don't want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, whenever we're not feeling great, this is the stuff we won't want to do. This is the stuff we don't do. Because you can't do this stuff, right? I mean, here's an example. Gratitude and fear cannot coexist. You start writing in your journal and your goals, your dreams, your gratitudes. You start reading something, you meditate for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and a day and reset your expectations and your intentions of the day. Go to a place of gratitude and vision. All of a sudden you're exercising, you're listening to the right stuff, you're spending time with a few of the right people. I mean, you can't stay negative unless you want to. And that's why people avoid this environment when they're down and discouraged, because, well, I got to stay here for a while instead of fixing it. Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I think practicing the power of saying no and walking away from blame. Sometimes we're blaming everything outside of us versus us needing to do what we need to do in order to be successful. Sometimes we hear negative people, oh, it's because of this, I'm not successful, but it's you. It's all you. So shutting down the negative people and the negative people that will make comments of, hey, you can do something a little bit more, or hey, let's blame this, or let's blame the market, or let's blame company or other things. Focus on you. Focus on what you need to do and stop blaming other people. I think when we start blaming everything outside of us, then we negotiate so much more.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time. Just looking at that list.
You know, George, you've commented before that if someone's committed, they're creative.
Yeah.
Find a way to accomplish what they want to.
Yes.
I believe that if we really want to do all these things in one day, that we can get creative and pull it off.
Oh, yeah. Just looking, I mean,
No matter of other people.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at the list. It's so possible. I'm just looking at the list, right? I mean, you've already, in fairness, you've participated and you've practiced. And you spent time with the right people. You spent some time with some coaches and mentors. What else could you make sure you implement today? Okay. Any other thoughts? All right, let's have a great day. Here we go. Let's do some affirmations.